Hello everyone. I'm Lino. Today I want to talk about the recent ICE shooting incident in Minnesota and the huge debate it has triggered online. But I don't want to talk only about America. I want to speak from the perspective of someone who lives under extremely strict censorship in China and share the complicated feelings I had while watching all this unfold. To be honest, when I saw Americans arguing fiercely over this case online, some criticizing ICE for excessive use of force, some defending the agent's actions, some questioning the official narrative, some accusing the media of manipulation, my first reaction wasn't "America is chaotic." It was, I actually felt a bit envious. Envious of what? Envious of the fact that they are allowed to argue publicly. In China, if something similar happened, the scene would likely be very different. An official statement would be released immediately. Mainstream media would follow a unified narrative. Trending topics would be guided. Comment sections would be heavily censored. No matter whether the truth is clear or not, the conclusion would already be prepared for you. You can stay silent. But it is extremely difficult to openly question. And it is almost impossible for different viewpoints to coexist for long. Over time, many Chinese people develop a survival strategy. Don't ask. Don't talk. Don't argue. America is the complete opposite. The facts are not fully clear yet, but the debate has already exploded. It's messy, emotional, polarized. But within that chaos, you can still see a society actively asking, what really happened? Who should be held accountable? Was power abused? From a rational perspective, this controversy is genuinely complex. Those who support ICE emphasize security and the authority of law enforcement. They believe officers must have the right to protect themselves when facing uncertain threats. Those who criticize ICE emphasize human rights and restraint, arguing that state violence must be strictly scrutinized, especially when it targets vulnerable people. And then there is another large group that trusts no official narrative at all, believing that the truth is always being covered up. I don't think any side is completely right, but that's precisely the point. It shows this is a real social conflict, not a neatly packaged piece of political propaganda. In China, we are used to a very different model. Not pluralistic debate, but the correct answer. Not searching for truth, but don't cause trouble for the country. Not public discussion, but wait for the official announcement. What's more ironic is that this aversion to debate is not just institutional. It is also cultural. In traditional Chinese culture, one highly praised value is harmony above all. It sounds beautiful, but in practice it often turns into stop arguing, just let it go. Focus on the bigger picture. Don't be so serious. Don't make things inconvenient for others. Is truth really that important? Stability matters more. Over time, this shapes a social temperament, disliking debate, fearing conflict, avoiding truth. If someone keeps questioning, they are labeled extreme, immature, or too radical. If someone expresses doubt, they're told, stop talking. It's not good for you. If someone tries to investigate facts, they hear, who are you to understand this? What America still retains, and what I deeply envy, is this. Even when debates get ugly, people still believe that debate itself is legitimate. They can criticize the government. They can criticize the police. They can criticize the media. They can question investigations. They can express anger from any position. Yes, this creates division, creates chaos. It makes everything feel tense. But at least it acknowledges one fundamental principle. Citizens have the right to participate in shaping public truth. Where I live, the attitude toward public events feels more like this. Truth is decided by those above. You are only responsible for accepting it. Do you know why I make videos in English? Because I genuinely believe it's safer than producing content in Chinese. Less likely to be detected. Less likely to be censored. And even then, when I upload videos, I still feel like there's a propaganda department living in my head. I still automatically censor myself. By the way, you don't need to wear a mask like I do when you're criticizing government departments. This ICE shooting in America sparked deep societal debate. How should law enforcement power be constrained? How do we balance national security and individual rights? How should federal and local power be checked? Is the media shaping narratives? If this had happened in China, it would likely become rapid official conclusion, rapid comment control, rapid cooling down, and then everyone pretends nothing ever happened. No sustained discussion, no institutional reflection, no public participation. Some people say Chinese people don't care about truth. I don't agree. A more accurate statement is, people are trained not to care about truth, because caring has a cost. Speaking has risks. Participation can bring punishment. Often, the authorities don't deal with the problem first. They deal with the person who raised the problem. Just like Dr. Li Wenliang at the beginning of COVID. Over time, silence becomes a rational choice. Numbness becomes self-protection. That's why watching Americans argue so fiercely over this case leaves me conflicted. On one hand, I know American society has serious problems. Polarization, emotional manipulation, media bias, all of that is real. But on the other hand, I cannot deny this. At least they are still arguing. We don't even have the right to argue. The most dangerous thing for a society is not chaos. It's artificial unanimity. Because unanimity often means voices have been erased, not that problems have been solved. Yes, American debates are loud, messy, and divisive, but that chaos keeps power under constant scrutiny. And power that is never questioned inevitably corrupts. If there is one thing I truly envy, it's not that America is perfect. It's that they still retain a social instinct. When something happens, people instinctively ask questions instead of instinctively staying silent. Where I live, people are taught, don't ask, don't think, don't speak, and especially don't argue. That's the suffocating part. So in a way, I'm not really discussing an American case. I'm using it as a mirror to see the flaws in my own society. A society that does not allow debate does not become more stable. It only buries its contradictions deeper until they become more dangerous. A society that dares to argue, no matter how chaotic, still retains the possibility of self-correction. That is what I truly envy. May God bless America, and may China one day find its way there too. If you like my views, please give me a like and subscribe. See you in the next video.